Hello, it's Andy Graham of Hobo Traveler. I'm in Vilcabamba, Ecuador. I've traveled for 16 years and went to 90 countries. I'm going to go to, this is going to be the Wednesday update. In the background, I'm trying to show you a mountain here. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, kind of cloudy. Nothing really opens here until about 9 o'clock. This is definitely a difficult city for me because nothing gets going until 9 o'clock, even to get something to eat. The only thing I can do is go up by the, everything that's open is up by the bus stop here. All the tourists, see, everything here is about tourist restaurants. And a lot of them don't open on Monday. I don't know what happened at Pura Vida. It didn't open up Monday or Tuesday. But most of these things are closed. Only just a couple of tiendas. So everything on the block here at about 8:15 on, what day is today? Wednesday. Wednesday update. Is closed. I got one stoplight in the city. This town is just about, it's like a small Midwestern town, but maybe just, if you knew, Orland has 400 people. So this city, they say they have 3,000 or 7,000. If they have more than about, in the center of the city, the metropolitan area, they're probably from one end to the other. If you look at the map on the front of my Vilcabamba, Vilcabamba.com, you'll see there's a map, and you'll see there's only about 8 streets across, 8 streets across. So you got 8 blocks across, and most of them are businesses. It's not a very big city. So what are my plans? I'm going to probably stay here because we're trying to make a kind of a live abroad city guide for Vilcabamba, and we've got it figured out. And I use my cell phone. It's got a GPS thing in it, and what I do is I register the thing and I create a map. So on the front of the my Vilcabamba right now is a map that I'm making. You'll see if you looked at it every few days, it'd keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we're going to, sadly, well, it's just a work in progress, so it's really not that elaborate right now, but it's growing. And so I figured there might be at least 100 places in this city that are of interest. Now, I'll be here until August 6th, and then I'm going to go to the United States and probably spend about 3 or 4 weeks where I'm going to organize. I'm making a lot of products here, and I bought some products from Alibaba and stuff, and I'm going to put these on the internet. I got permission on Amazon.com to sell in the luggage department. I had to do this great big exam. It was like I had a really huge exam with no lessons. Okay, it was quite interesting. All about databases and doing graphics work. Got it done. I've got permission to be in that category, so now I can expand. And I'm trying to put all my money together, which is really hard. I should have done this when I was making tons of money off of Google. But I'm trying to put together, I need about, I guess about $20,000 worth of inventory, and I only have about $3,000 or $4,000 to put into it. So it's really kind of sad for me because it would really be easier if I could buy these things in bulk, bigger bulk. I'm having real trouble even keeping stocked on these secret pockets. So if you guys want to buy secret pockets, you better buy them because they're selling like 1 or 2 a day, and it seems to be growing. So, okay, in the fall, about 1st of September, I'm going to go to, I keep saying Bulgaria, but on hindsight, there's like 8 countries there in southeastern Europe that are all like, it's like, little like Massachusetts, all these little Delaware, all these little countries. They're hardly bigger than, you could probably fit 3 of them in the state of Indiana. And so I decided, what the hell, I might as well kind of bounce around a little. I've got about 4 months, so I think I'm going to be there from, I found a round-trip ticket. I found a few round-trip tickets to Sofia or there's another country, Serbia, there, Belgrade, I think it is, for right around $770 from Chicago. So $770, around $375. One way, round trips, yes, $775 or something. It's as low as $750 round trip from there. And what I'd leave is on like September 1st or August 28th and get back on December 21st in time for Christmas. And then I would hopefully go right after Christmas. I would be going to Guatemala. But if anybody wants to come down here right now, I'll be here until August 6th, and I'll be glad to give you the $500 Live Abroad tour. I'll pick you up at the airport in either Cuenca or Loja, and I'll bring you here and I'll get you in a room for, if it's one person, it's you know, you can get a room here as cheap as $180 a month and $150 a month, according to, I haven't found them all yet, but I do know of 2 rooms for one for 180. Well, there's one place that has 3 or 4 rooms for around $180 a month. A little difficult on the internet. You have to buy a chip, but that's not a big deal. USB modem, but if you want to come down here, you're more than welcome. I'll pick you up at the airport and make sure that you rent a place. At the worst case scenario, you're going to be paying right around $12.50, same as me, a night for a room in Hotel Jardín Escondido, which has got extremely fast Wi-Fi. This is one of those great places to work abroad. I mean, if you guys are working over the internet, this has really got high-speed internet here, and it's quite amazing speed. Electricity's never went off, water's never went off. It's always the same kind of environment. It rains a little bit, but what's really good is it's very quiet. If you see right now, this is about as noisy as it gets. And this is amazing for any of the places that you'd ever go to and live. Like Cuenca is just a riot. Loja is a riot. I mean, it's a traffic jam. Cuenca and Loja are just traffic jams. Quito's an these are places in Ecuador. Most places, there's beeping horns, things. And if you're looking to get the inside scoop, get on a plane. I'll help you. You know, I'll pay the $500 and I'll arrange for you to. I'll get on the phone with Skype with you. I'll call you on your phone number. We'll arrange how to do it, and I'll help you get a ticket. And about anywhere in the United States, it's probably going to be right around $800 round trip here. About the same as Europe, sadly, right? But I'm going to go to Europe, and I'm going to fly round trip, and then I'm going to do what they call a wagon wheel. I tried to print it out. The wagon wheels, you know, like this, has got spokes. So I'll be here in the center of the southeastern Europe, and I'll do this kind of trip like this. I call it the wagon wheel method. You know, normally you go sequentially, and then you come back a different path. I don't really want to do that because I want to stay within, say, you know, half a day's trip or a day's trip to the airport. So if I ever wanted to just park it, I can just go back to the airport. So I'll just be basically passing through Belgrade or maybe thing, but according to the countries, right? And the sad part is the internet just sucks. Now I haven't really, I mean, the internet is just horrible for me to find any information on hotels and stuff like that. It's just a pack of lies. And they have got it so conflagrated. I mean, it's convoluted. And I'm an expert, guys. And for me to get to the hotel prices and the right stuff, I got to get on the ground. And it's really hurting because I did buy the Lonely Planet Southeastern Europe, and I have it here, and I'll start going through that. But to suss out what's really the price of housing and stuff, I was laughing. I looked at this one side of the cheapest places, the cheapest cities in Europe, and I was kind of sad because really the only variable that really matters is the price of the room. You can always eat cheap. I mean, everything else is this thing. I mean, I'm in a hotel here now. What is different is I'm in a hotel that's walking distance from the square or anywhere in the city, and most of these travelers are going out to these Madre something, you know, hotels and all these things, and they have to take a taxi into town. It's the get you in the resort, not let you out of the resort technique. This is a very popular technique on the planet, but if you're in the city core and you can do it, you can always go to the beautiful place and look at stuff. But it's really about life. The lifestyle of living abroad is about walking around, you know? And when you don't have that, you have to take a taxi to get into town, or a taxi to go anywhere, or get on a bus to get someplace. You really just pissed all over your life, because the idea that, you know, the best lifestyle is really just to get up in the morning and walk around and not have to ever get in the car, because the car is also a temptation to go farther. Then, you know, it's not to say that you can't make day trips and stuff like that, but to get like here to be outside the city, I think it's a little insane. Because who wants? If all you're going to do is come in and stay in one hotel and you have to take a taxi, all you're really seeing of Ecuador is that little resort. Okay, I get to walk around all the whole town. I got up this morning at 6, walked over to the Comedor, then I found this little bread shop that was open across the thing, and I find out all this stuff. I walked up the hill. I'm taking a reading. I'm trying to figure out the elevation of this city, and it goes from here to here, from way up top to way down. You can see it goes down that way. There's a river down there, and it's pretty steep. So you're always walking uphill or downhill in this city. It's pretty horrible for anybody handicapped or anybody that has any kind of, anybody that's extremely overweight, because the taxis are trucks, right? So you'd have to climb into a truck, and that's a little difficult for a lot of people. And there's some really huge steps. So, but do I like the city? Yeah, I like it. It's calm. It's nothing. But I don't know if there's any real tourist attractions other than to climb through the mountains, which is, you can do that anywhere in Ecuador. Oh, this Andes Mountains go all the way through the Central and South America, so it's not really much different there. I got on Wiki Voyage, which is Wiki Travel and all this stuff, and basically they talk about massages and yogas and things that you can do anywhere on the planet, right? Yoga, masseuses, massages. They do. I'm trying to figure out this hot spring. There's supposed to be a hot springs here, and those are pretty cool. If I can actually find that would be a tourist attraction. I don't think trekking or riding a horse is a tourist attraction. I think it's something to do. It's entertainment. And yoga is not something you do. The city square here is a tourist attraction, but they didn't list that because you get to see this big church, and it's a very typical, Central in South America, Parque Central or Plaza de Armas, they call them. And but there's no, there's very little Spanish culture here because it really feels like the whole town's dominated by gringos, which is, to me, a little boring. But luckily, I did discover just up the road, 50 cents in a bus is Malacatos, which is pretty Ecuadorian. And in a way, I think would be a much better place to stay a month, okay? But I don't know if there's any gringos to talk to up there. So, it's here and there. But, most of the gringos here are your new age, hippy-dippy, we call them PhDs, post-hippy-dippies, okay? There are a lot of older people here. I think the average age, with no testosterone, I don't think there's a girl in this town, hardly. This is definitely a place to be married and retired and give up on looking women. If you want to bring your husband to a place where he's not going to find any women, here's the place, okay? On the other side is, I was laughing when this guy was telling me, I don't know how he found all the whorehouses in Loja. I was laughing because that's what was you searching for, guy? But he found them. But there are some whorehouses, and there's always whorehouses in Central and South America, anywhere you go. So I don't think there is. Bob says there's one here, but I don't think there is. I think there might be one in Malacatos or something. But who knows? But it's purely a retirement village. They pretty much roll up the streets at night. Not much going on. There is a couple bands in the weekend, and there's a constant stream of backpackers that come in here and spend one night. That's a really big sign for a city, is when the backpackers only stay one night or 2 nights. That means there's just not that much to do. When the backpackers can't figure out a reason to leave, that's a good thing. But there's just not anything to do for the young people. So. And I don't really like talking to old people, so I'm kind of too young for this place. But it is got some real safe. It's got public transportation. You can call up a taxi and get it, and they'll come to your room and they drive you there. So you could actually, if you can get into a big truck, one of these crew cab trucks, you can go anywhere in the city without really walking, because on the other side is. There's a lot of restaurants, so that inflates your cost. I'm hoping to move into Bob's place here soon at the end of the month, where I could cut my cost in half to a $150 room, and then I'd have a kitchen. And I hope his high-speed internet is hard and escondido. But I'll be making a lot of trips to Malacatos, and so soon you'll be seeing photos, videos of me going to Malacatos and me going to Loja and all these places. And I went to Loja twice now, and I'm looking for telas, cloth to make some of these things I'm doing, some secret pockets and other things. And I actually found a factory there that manufactures stuff. But generally a great place to hang out for a month, but I think I'm going to be really bored out of my brain on the second month here. But I'm going to hang it out because we're going to do a guidebook here and trying to really help people suss out how to make a decision on where to live abroad. Now, any way you do it, if you're really just a newbie to everything, this is a safe place to make a entry into South America. I do think there is value. I mean, Cuenca is kind of over the top, and Loja's over the top, Quito's over the top. But this place is so calm that, you know, if you didn't speak Spanish, you didn't do anything. You don't need to speak Spanish here. I hardly ever speak Spanish. Yo hablo español muy bien, pero todavía no es necesario. Okay, I can speak Spanish fluently, but the restaurants especially all speak English. The little tiendas where I buy a lot of stuff, they don't. But it's quite expensive. The food is very expensive. It's in comparison to most places I go on the planet. Incredibly tourist price. It's kind of a tourist trap pricing here. But, you know, good place to hang out. And if you didn't know anything and you really wanted to make your first trip to a very, very safe place, this is probably the best benchmark to start your trip on if you're looking for a place to live abroad. Thank you. Andy Graham, Wednesday Update, hobotraveler.com.
We can pack up tomorrow.